Here we are in Sand Hollow. We're starting the Zackwoods. We're gonna make our way around the park, and we want to do Lion's Back and the Chute. So that's the main reason why we're here. We're just here for a quick run to do the Chute, really, and anything else is just extra. So little warm up on some sand and rocks, get us going. Being followed by NoHo Hank and two of my best friends. They're making their way around the country, and they're going to fill up their map of the United States on this trip. So after they visit me, they're running up to the corner of the United States, Oregon and Washington and Montana and whatnot, and getting all that filled in. And then their trailer will have gone to all the states except for Hawaii and Alaska. So that's pretty cool. We're in Sand Hollow today. I can't remember what the temperature was. It was much warmer than that Sleeping Princess. I think it was supposed to be like 80s today. But I don't remember what the temperature was in the morning. But during the week for Sleeping Princess and Copper Cache and Rocky Gap, for the most part I had kind of a following cam. I'm not sure I like that. I think this looks better. And you can see what they did driving with the GoPro mounted on the hood of NoHo Hank. And you can see my Jeep, which is nice. But the following one I think is harder because like here, like right now, if I'm in the back, it's like, it's like on every corner they could be out of the frame and whatnot. And if they slow down a little bit or I speed up, the GoPro is such a tiny little lens camera that you end up being pretty far away. So, but I think what's nice at the very least with it being on their hood, they can see the obstacle, like how steep it was. It'll be a good memory thing for them. So I'll try not to talk too much. anybody knows or has been to Sand Hollow, you know that there's so many tracks. I mean, pretty much of this whole huge area is just open riding, and so there are trails that just go every which direction. And here what happened was so even though you're like looking at the map, it's kind of confusing, and I missed my turn. So after we'd gone just a little bit, it's like, oops, I could tell I'd missed the turn. I'm like, nope, this isn't what we need to be on. So we backed up and got over on the right track. This next section here, you gotta turn. You're basically on like a short little fin, but you come over and then you kind of like drop off at a slight angle. Hopefully this view will give it some justice. You can see how small the Jeep looks in front. You can see it's like, oh, yeah, it was a good drop. And the way his wheel was turned and the angle of the Jeep and everything, it's like the tire didn't want to roll. So he had to back up. He straightened up his wheel just a little bit. This is a nice little climb. It's steeper than it looks, but you can tell it's pretty steep. But basically, you want to just stay in the track where the tires are, and then just keep your driver's tire over there, turning into the black tire marks there as you're going up. If you did lock your wheels, you want to unlock at the top so that you can make the turn. This next little bit, it's a sharp little breakover angle thing. It's like, from this angle you don't even see it, but you'll see once he gets going. It's like, drop. He did great. bombing along the sand fence line section, and we're going to get to the sand dunes. Hang right, we're going to head down to Double Sammy. So as we're getting over here by where Double Sammy is, I notice that there are a bunch of buggies up there on the rocks. And they're not moving, but these are really well built rigs, so I figured they're going to be gone. So while we're waiting for them to get moving, we're going to head down to Lion's Back. Now this is pretty steep, and the trick here is there's a crack with like a little hole in the middle, and trick is you want to straddle that crack, but there's a rock at the top, so you can't ride that perfect all the way up. But as you straddle the crack, you go up towards the rock and then cut around the rock at the top. But the key is to get lined up, so that's what I'm doing. And you want to just have a little bit of momentum or speed when you're doing this. So when you start, you just head on up, give it a little bit of speed. Not too much, but just enough. And then once you get the momentum, you just hold that pace on up. Let's see, NoHo Hank's getting lined up. And I'm up there. Again, left enough room for his Jeep to fit up there. And I'm on the radio so he can hear me. He's aired down to 10 psi, and both his lockers are going to be locked going up.
Driver. Keep going. That's good.
This is a clip from inside my my Jeep, inside the dash with the iPhone, heading down. And so on the way down, you can see there's that hole there. You want to straddle that hole. Yeah, you got dark gray marks on both sides. You just don't want to. You don't want to end up in that hole and then accidentally roll or something. won't make you suffer watching me not make it up that sand dune for some ungodly reason. It just wasn't going fast enough, so we ended up going over into the rock to get around, and we're just heading back to Double Sammy at this point. Well, the buggies are still at Double Sammy, so we got out, talked to them. Someone had broke down, and they were still cleaning up. And we thought, well, while they're doing that, we're just going to head over to the chute, get that done with. see me making the corner to get lined up on the chute. And I took it just a little too tight. And I just went a little bit too far passenger so that my front wheel hit that hole, and then it slipped. And you can see it's like trying to just tip it over on its side. But I just touched the mirror and didn't break the glass. It just popped that outer cover off, but it did wreck the mechanism that allows it to fold. And I backed off this. And then was properly lined up, and I was able to get my act together and walk on up this obstacle. But you can tell this bugger is steep. It is 70 feet of I can't believe I'm going up this crazy. Alright, so NoHo Hank is a electric Jeep. You can see the sign there, the chute. That came out really nice. Look at that. That's really cool. He's getting lined up here. And he's going to be locked. He's aired down to 10. And but these 4XEs have so much power, and I guess one of the complaints with them, and I didn't know this until after, but apparently it's very hard with so much torque to limit. It's real easy to just like bump the throttle or whatever and it's like you can see Jeep's going to be kind of lurching and spinning tires here a little bit, and then stop and then spin. And it's hard, I guess, on these, especially these steep technical areas, to get the right throttle control.
Stop. You didn't have a nice and easy in there today. All right, is it in park? Why don't you get out and get a picture?
And just think, this was his first time doing this obstacle, and he did so good. And even though he had some little bit of struggle there, he held his composure and made it up and completed the obstacle and did not break a mirror like someone that has been up there multiple times.
over the front, then that's when you're going to just give it just a tiny bit extra gas, and that'll get you moving. And then after that, just stay straight in the slot, and you don't have to like race it or nothing. Just fall right up when you do it. Yes. Nice looking driver. Nice stop. You didn't have a nice driver. Driver, slow down. Keep coming, keep coming. Driver. Just nice and easy, driver. Nice stop.
All right, this is from the drone. And you can see what it looked like with me screwing up this first part here. You can see how far away I am, and the back end is kind of still on that corner. And so when I raised the Jeep up, it just went right into that hole and put the mirror right on the side of the wall there. You can see it there pretty plain. It's a big oops. So now I'm lined up. And you can see I'm not doing a lot of spinning, and there's not a lot of noise. It's like once I got my shit together, it was like I did it just fine, but that was a boo-boo. Okay, and NoHo Hank is getting lined up. And there he goes. He's just got just a hair fast. He's got a little wheel spin on him, but for the most part, he did a really good job. And he kept his cool, because when you're tipped up at that angle, I mean, and things aren't going your way, it's like, whoa, what the heck? It's a little scary. So he did a great job completing it, and he did no damage. So that's a perfect win, 10 out of 10. then with the chute completed, and they having a 12-13 hour drive for the next destination, they wanted to leave a little early today, and we called her quits. So we got the chute done, and we did lines back, and there you have it. And there's the buggy that broke down on Double Sammy. So now we're just running back to air up. Finish this wonderful day and a great trip. Here we are in the sand dunes. Lake and mountains are just beautiful here. And this is kind of a funny thing too. It's like, I was telling them over the radio, but to get down, like every time I go down this way to get to the tunnel, I always end up turning early, and I end up like going over a bunch of sandstone rocks, which are really bumpy. And this is the first time I actually did it correctly. Like stayed to the far right and the trail back, so then you end up down by the fence, and then take that back to the trail. Usually somewhere in here I'll be making a turn and then head to the left and be like, oh, this looks like this makes it through, and then it's like, nope, it's all rock. And then it's like you're slowing way down and whatnot, so it worked out. Just a great trip. Right before the tunnel, you got one little short little sand drop. Sometimes there's less sand and there's more rock, but this time it was a little bit more sand than normal. Right, go into the tunnel, into the darkness. This is like, I don't know, it's like a guilty pleasure. It's like it's like I shouldn't be so happy doing this, but it's like I like going through these tunnels. It's kind of like going in the caves. And then boom, lake. Look at that. That's really beautiful. Thanks for watching.